It only became a crisis when it became a crisis for them politically.
Swift reaction to the Wynne government's move to cool the housing market by taking aim at foreign investors and landlords. Good afternoon. Anyone buying a house or condo in Ontario who is not residing here will pay a premium. The province is imposing a 15% tax on that property.
It is called the Fair Housing Plan. It also includes measures to protect tenants from skyrocketing rents. CTV's Paul Bliss joins us now. He's live in Liberty Village, where the Premier made the announcement this morning. Paul, a lot of points to this plan.
16 points, 16 measures the governments are acting on. The big question everybody has is, will they be effective? You mentioned the foreign buyers tax. That's really the main weapon here that they're employing to try and crack down on these frenzied bids that are driving families out of the housing market. But beyond that, it's unclear if these measures are going to be effective. However, there are some very strong rent controls coming in to protect tenants in this effort by the Wynne government to make housing more affordable in the Greater Golden Horseshoe.
The Premier's Fair Housing Plan is a 16-point strategy to calm the housing market and protect renters.
This is a unique challenge. In some ways, we have to realize this is a good problem to have. Our hot housing market is tied to the confidence people have in the Ontario economy. So the skyrocketing cost of renting or buying in Ontario, and the Greater Golden Horseshoe region in particular, is the unwanted consequence of a strong economy with a promising future.
Starting tomorrow, a 15% non-resident speculation tax will apply to all residential home transactions in the Greater Golden Horseshoe. Surplus government land will be freed up for new housing projects in the West Don lands and properties in downtown Toronto. The City of Toronto is getting the power to tax thousands of vacant properties, and the government is giving all cities the power to impose higher taxes on land that is approved for residential but is sitting vacant. However, the finance minister says there's no guarantee these measures will help calm the market.
The Bank of Canada, Stephen Paulus, has made it clear that he sees speculation as being a problem in the region. And those are the points that we've taken into consideration in working with stakeholders.
The minister told me 8% of the people winning the bids to buy residential homes in Toronto are foreign investors. But there are no actions in this plan to crack down on domestic speculators. So the bidding frenzies could continue into this weekend.
There is comforting news for renters. Rent control will now apply to all rental units, including those built after 1991. And Queen's Park is imposing a new standard lease agreement to encourage more people to rent out their units. That's good news, but there are still some concerns.
I am worried about tenants who are in buildings now that aren't covered, whose landlords will say, gee, I got to get in under the wire. I'm going to crank it up really big time right now.
It's going to bring everyone under the same system of rent control. So all the folks in the towers around here are going to have a minimum standard. They're not going to be getting these massive, outrageous rent increases.
So what do you think of the announcement?
Well, we're very disappointed. We were on the verge of a major build in terms of new purpose-built rental units in the City of Toronto and across the province. We were on the verge of 28,000 new purpose-built rental, which would help tenants.
The government is promising to crack down on shady real estate transactions, practices like double-ending and phantom offers. But these changes will take time to draft and implement. In the meantime, the Premier says she's done what she can. Now it's up to market forces to do the rest.
And in case you're wondering, that foreign buyers tax is not expected to put a lot of money in the bank for Queen's Park, because the minister has also set up a $125 million special fund. That money is going to go to developers to help them and encourage them to put up more rental buildings to provide more units for Ontarians. Live in Liberty Village, I'm Paul Bliss. Michelle, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
To reaction now from the mayor's office. John Tory says he welcomes many actions of the Wynne government's plan, like the sale of provincial lands, including the West Don lands, to build affordable housing. He goes on to say, I'm also gratified that the provincial government will allow the city to move forward with a vacant homes tax, subject to the results of our examination and other measures to curtail speculation and add new supply into the marketplace right away.
CTV's chief financial commentator, Patty Levitt-Reid, joins us now live with a reaction to the announcement. So, Patty, everybody wondering if this is going to work. Why don't we take a look at what happened in Vancouver when legislation was brought in there?
Well, I think they raise a very good point, because this is almost the new and improved foreign buyers tax, because it will eliminate, and we've already talked about it, foreign students. It excludes foreign workers, those who may be on the path to citizenship, and it's going to be the onus on them to come back and say, okay, this should not apply to me. You know, I looked at some numbers and I crunched them, Ken. If you looked in the month of March, 15% foreign buyers tax. I used a 5% number because that was used prior to the 8% that we heard. The government would have made about $83 million on this. So it's one of those things, when you look at all of these changes, we're so close to the margin on each one of them. If you only implement one, it probably wouldn't make a difference. But when you implement a lot, then all of a sudden you can start to see things happen. The problem, Ken, is it's not going to happen overnight.
No, of course not. But yes, Paul did mention 16 different measures in this. Among other things I thought was interesting, Patty, they talked about surplus government land going to be made available for low-cost housing. But there is no talk of loosening any restrictions in the Greenbelt.
No, there wasn't, and that's an interesting point that you raised, because a lot of people thought that that exactly was going to happen, because depending on who you speak to in the city, they will say this is all about a supply issue. We need more supply. The other point that I would throw out there as well, a lot of pushback on the rent controls, because those who I guess are in the business and say 2.5%, you know what, you got to at least move it to 3 to 3.5%, because some of the costs and maintenance are certainly going to outstrip inflation.
All right, CTV's chief financial commentator, Patty Lovett-Reed. Thank you, Patty.
Thanks, Ken.